Today, we're talking with Ibrahim Adepoju, CEO of Tyms, about how to build trust to grow your company. Welcome to Beyond SaaS. I am Jason Niedle, founder of Tethos. We're a growth agency, and we partner with tech companies like Tyms to deliver growth solutions and sales. For over 20 years, we've worked with everyone from smaller companies to global brands and A-list celebrities to solve their growth challenges. And we've taken what we've learned from all these amazing interviews and put together a hypergrowth playbook. So you can grab that at tethos.com/podcast or drop the word growth in here. Today, I'm really excited to talk about tech company growth with Ibrahim. He is the CEO and also the co-founder of Tyms, which is an AI-powered accounting platform. Their AI is named Adam, and it looks really cool. It will chat with you to resolve accounting questions. It can be trained. It can even get its own email address for handling bills and bank statements, which I think is a really cool innovation overall. And I noticed on your LinkedIn profile there that you had a cool quote, "Tell me and I will forget," and this is by Confucius, "Tell me and I will forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I will understand." So Ibrahim, I hope to understand with you today.
All right. Thanks so much, Jason. I'm happy to be here on this podcast.
Yeah, and from a long way away from Lagos, Nigeria, huh?
Exactly. But it's a big world with the internet.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, before we jump in, do you have a golden nugget for the listeners today?
Yeah. I think I'll pick it primarily from the quote on my LinkedIn. I always felt like if you tell me, I'm going to forget, but if you engage me, I'm going to remember. Most of the time growing up, I felt like even in entrepreneurship, trying to just teach me things, showing me how things work, doesn't always work fine. But when I get to work with you, intern with you, I get to always remember and become part of me. So it's a Chinese proverb. I really don't know the origin, but it has just been with me for up to 10 years now. So tell me, I'll forget, but show me, I will always remember.
How do you engage people? Like, do you have any tips or tricks on how you show and engage better?
Yeah, the primary thing I do is to first listen. Listening is the first thing I try to do. People want the ability to take charge of the conversation. I felt like if I want to engage with people, I give them the power first. So when people feel convenient to express themselves, it makes it easy for me to better communicate and also engage them in my own terms.
Very cool. Tell me a little bit about Tyms.
Yeah, times is like I have a very big problem with accounting as a founder. I'm not an accountant, and taxes, money business in different countries, different locations, complex tax system. Running a software agency before now, and also running fintech. I had a tough time with accounting, and I felt like many founders don't even know what accounting is. We just want to build a product, we just want to sell, and when the tax time comes, so I was like, I need to solve this problem because I can't just use accounting software. I'm not trained for this. If you bring a lot of softwares to me, I don't understand the number. Aside from P&L statements, I don't know. I really don't know balance sheet. That was before now. That was years ago, and I was like, we need to build something different. With the rise of LLM, can we build accounting system that we can talk to? Let me assume if I send my accountant an email that, hey, you just sent me this sheet, I don't know the interpretation, I don't know what is happening. He said, oh, I'll reply you tomorrow. I'm on good now. Okay. When can I get the detail? I see that, I look, I say, no, guy, I don't know this thing, but I just know the revenue. Yeah, I know the revenue, I know the expense, any other thing is gone. So yeah, so we build times to automate and make accounting as simple as just chatting with your friend, with your toddler. That's what we're building as time.
Man, if I only had that 20 years ago. It's hard. Accounting is definitely hard. And so solving the problem of many people have a tough time with accounting using AI sounds brilliant. And you're doing that. You guys are based in Oregon, is that right?
Yeah.
But you have a team in Africa.
Yeah, we have a team in Africa. We have a team also in the US, in Oregon. So we started out in Africa. Demand brought us to the US.
How do you serve both audiences? Do you serve African businesses as well as US businesses, or because of accounting restrictions, are you mostly focused on one country?
The thing about software, about accounting, is that it is quite simplified. It's quite easy to globalize accounting. Every region is either you're following either the GAAP standard or the IFRS standard. So all over the world, either you're following these two standards. So the first thing we did was to build the software that will be and align with the two standards. So when we launched the products from day one, I was traveling, and I was like, oh, let me build this thing. Let me move to this region. And by signing up the first set of people, that the place where I'm seeing the problem more is from the US. We're seeing the lower level of CPAs. We're seeing a lot of people not taking the courses in accounting again. So people were missing a lot of deadline. A lot of people were searching my blog on tools to generate profit and loss statements, balance sheet, and all the available tools out there are more like Excel templates. Imagine giving an Excel template to someone who even knows nothing about accounting, to just
Hmm.
start off. And then I just built a free tool online. I just call it a free balance sheet generator. And I was seeing a lot of traffic. I was like, wow. And even it's not really that powerful. So it shows me the demand that people want a generator and not a template. They want something they can just say, generate this for me. And then I was like, said, okay, this is the market. We have a lot of users in the United States. We have a lot in India. We have a lot in the United Kingdom. And we also have Nigeria as our number 4. And I was like, okay, let's focus on these four regions where we're seeing the organic users and decide to build stronger for those markets.
How do you gain trust? Accounting software seems like one of the hardest softwares to get people to believe that it's going to do what they need it to do and that their information is safe. And I just imagine that that is a constant battle for you as a company. How do you engender trust or show that the users are safe?
Yeah. But the first thing is to first start with the knowledge, with the know-how. My co-founder, she's an accountant. She worked with the Pricewater Corporation, PwC, for years. She worked in the US with BDO, and she has very solid knowledge of accounting. Even though our first startup was not in accounting, but accounting started coming up when we were running the first startup. That this startup is messed up. Our books is rough, and let's build something. So the know-how is very there. We have a very team that's very strong in accounting and very strong in engineering. And the first thing we did was we get our SOC 2 Type 2 and ISO 27701. The first thing we had to do when we build the MPP is to get audited and ensure that we're compliant. Because one thing about accounting is like the data is very private. We build a lot of internal control, a lot of security measure and everything. Because the reality about this is that it's just this trust issue globally, and we decide to start with small businesses where we can effectively manage small businesses, startups, where you can efficiently manage the data volume, compared to large enterprise with large voluminous, financial data. So what we did was ensure that we set up a very solid team that have a good know-how, because if a small number differentiation, like what is meant to be 1.1 and you put it as 1.0, might mean a lot to the book, because 1.1 USD is different from 1 rupees, is different from 1.1 naira. So you don't even take zero point 0.1 for granted. So we have to build this in place and also ensure we have a solid team, get audited every year, every month with from external auditors to ensure that we are compliant with how we manage our data and internal control. So we share the reports with most people most of the time. I'll just get our recent audited reports, and you can use that to decide.
So can we talk growth? What growth state are you guys at now, and what are you hoping to accomplish in the next year?
Yes, so currently we're still in the very I'll call it the early growth stage. The user acquisition has been very, very quite easy because we use organic channel, we use content, we leverage on what people are already searching. But the fact about startup is you still need to keep the market is very dynamic. The other problem is AI solution is quite new to a lot of people. Many people are just adapting to it. A lot of people don't even believe it will work. Some people just come doubting the product. So it's a very influential stage that we have to just say that we are early, because we need to ensure we maintain retention. It might be attractive to a lot of people signing up easily, making the first subscription, but are you going to stay longer? How long are you going to stay? How long are you going to keep paying? So this is making the early stage a little bit longer for us in the AI startup. Let me just put it that way, because we need to wait for like 6 months again before we know what is the reality of this system. How do you effectively manage churn and everything. So we're quite in early stage. For funding round, we're pre-seed round. We raise amazing funding, investors globally. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment.
And what kind of things are you doing to reach out to new people? How are you getting the word out about Times?
Yeah, primarily I post a lot on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn a lot, because if we don't sell our products, nobody is going to sell it for us. And the product will sell itself. So I leverage on LinkedIn a lot, and a lot of people are coming in from LinkedIn. But the other thing we do every time again is to ensure that we put out amazing content out there. a lot of content, and we keep building a lot of free tools that you can just easily jump on. This is one of our biggest source of getting users. The third thing we're currently working on is also leveraging on partnership, trying to work with venture investors, VCs, just get startups around. But at the moment, that's in Google search for quite a long period of time. But GTM is something that you don't stop doing. The system is very dynamic. Things are changing every time. The algorithm is changing. So I really don't know what the approach will be next month. But I know that for the early period, for the launch period, it has been Google search. People were coming in because outbound has been quite difficult, because you need to find a way to map down people who really need the solution, unlike people who are already looking for the solution. So we're leveraging on inbound at the moment.
How different are your ICPs, your ideal customer profiles? How different are your ICPs in different countries? And how do you communicate with each of these very different communities?
We're leveraging on the pattern where we want the customers to speak their language themselves. I think one of the biggest challenge is always going to be in customer support and buyers, and also there will be a lot of issues around time zone. So what we are doing to deal with this is to first ensure that it should take a long time before anyone would need to contact our support, because that's the only way we can manage that, especially at the early stage. While we need people to give us feedback, we also need to ensure that any feedback should be positive, So the thing we try to do with the dynamic of this region is to ensure that when you sign up, we it's an AI system. It's been trained with some instructions, some prompt and everything. So we try to ensure that everything aligns with what is happening in your region. So the moment you are conversing or you are using the platform, we know your country, we know your currency, we know the industry you're operating. We've already set up a pre-trained instruction for you on the platform that Mr. A from Delaware, from United States, with a business in the grocery industry with 2 employees, these are the tax liabilities, are everything. So the moment you bring the data into the system, it cross-check those your basic information to know this is the right way to treat it. So it's just the interesting fact about AI today. So user A will feel like, I'm using this system and it felt so much like what is happening around me. And user B in India or in Ghana or in South Africa, or we feel like, what, this knows my tax law, it's telling me this is my tax rate and everything. It's just the benefit of AI. It's just the evolution. So that is how we're able to manage the dynamic of people from different regions compared to traditional SaaS or traditional solution where we have to pre-configure and hard code everything. So it's a personalized system.
Well, what's holding you back from growth? If obviously everyone, could use more money, but like what's your internal constraint? Is it strategy? Is it finding the right people? Is it, not getting emails to work the way they used to? Is it trust? What would you say is your major constraint from growth?
The major constraint from growth is the accounting space is not a new space. It's a very, very old space. And there are a lot of players in the accounting space. There are a lot of players, and a lot of people are also engaged with many of these players. Whether their ways is old or is new, you need to find a way to convince people to leverage, to migrate. So let's say people just don't switch immediately, because one interesting thing about accounting space is the moment you are in the system, all your financials are in the system, it's going to be very difficult for you to leave the system. That's number one thing. So what we did is, when you're signing up on the platform, we ensure that we don't isolate our system from the old traditional platform. Meaning that if you want to use our software, we make it possible for you to continue with what you're currently using. Meaning that if I am using software and I felt like I need Adam can solve my problem, then no problem. Keep using Tyms and software A together. Times be the add-on. So this is the only way we have been able to navigate the complexity of people. So we try to sell our solution more like you are hiring an assistant than you are buying the software. Marketing has been a little bit challenging due to the competitive landscape. What we kept on doing is, how can we differentiate ourselves and how can we strategically position ourselves to avoid the conversation of how are you better than this? When I just need to say this can complement this.
Right. So really distinguish how you're different and in fact frame it in an entirely different light. But the good news and the bad news is switching is hard, right? So people who kind of don't love their accounting software don't want to make that effort to switch. So that's another challenge in what you're doing.
Yeah.
What do you wish other tech leaders knew about growing a company?
I think one thing every tech leader should know about growing a company is that you need to build for the people, and sometimes it's not about the features that you have. Most of the time we founders always believe I need to have a lot of features, I need to have this, I need to have that, and then the next user is going to be, and it doesn't work that way. Anybody building should know that right now, even in SaaS space, from my own experience over the past years, people are buying more of tools than the software. It tool mean I need something right now to get something done for me right now. So meaning that if you're building anything today, you need to first start ask yourself, the first user, what can they do right now with your tool, and say that yeah, I achieved something. So otherwise, whatsoever feature you're building, no matter how plenty the menus are, I really don't know, but I would just say that it might not work until you get to a stage where you have a large audience. So anyone building should always go for simplicity and also build a tool and not a software first. This is a tool, use it, get value, then we expand.
Yeah, solve a problem and provide value. Otherwise,
Yeah.
who needs it, right? What should we know about AI? It seems like it's changing the world, but you and I are in the field. Like, what do average people need to know about AI ahead?
Yeah, I think we are still in the early stage of AI, and everyone right now, from my perspective, and using a lot of AI too. I felt like AI is meant to be like an assistant to you. A lot of people are concerned about AI replacing them, and I felt like that should not be the discussion right now. We should take advantage of this amazing assistant that I'm able to hire. So when anytime I see any AI solution, I see myself hiring an additional assistant, and this assistant, I'm paying lesser dollar per month to get this assistant to work for me. And I'm not expecting this assistant to be 100% perfect solution for people and redefine everything without giving you the control. So that's why when you're coding or when you're using some solution, you start adjusting a lot of things because they don't give you the flexibility to contribute to the development and adjust. So let AI be an assistant. I know over time AI might take over, I can't say, but till now I'm still saying this like this is my assistant. So let me deliver very fast, let me achieve 100% result and accuracy. That just it. So assistance, not a replacement.
What trends do you see in the future here? What's coming up, and how are you planning for that?
Yeah, I think it's really going to be disruptive. To be very honest, there's no joke here. If you're building with any LLM right now, they are shipping very fast. And if you lag a little bit as a developer, as an engineer, a little bit lag, you see that you've missed a lot. A lot has happened with OpenAI over the past few days. It means the rate at which, momentum at which these people are building, are innovating, what is going to be happening in the nearest future is going to be like the sci-fi that we watch every time in movies, and and it's coming, it's going to become real because I look at the momentum, I look at the trajectory, and I feel like everyone should be prepared for a new world, a new evolution. At home, when you look at the old parents, they find it difficult to use the remote and or even the mobile phone, and they call the kids like, "How you guys able to use this thing? This generation is very smart." And I feel like that's how the next generation will tell us, like, "Oh, you guys are outdated. Things have changed now. I just have to clap my hand and the door is going to open." So we just have to prepare like a new world. You might think you know everything now, but what is coming next?
Yeah, it's funny. I was trying to explain to my son that phones, when I was a kid, used to be like a rotary thing and you would dial it. And I was like, there was never a way that I could have looked at that thing and predicted that it would have a screen and then all the information in the whole entire world would be on that little screen and that I could talk to people on the TV, which was a phone. I couldn't have foreseen that at all. And I think on one hand I could say, oh, AI is going to do this or AI is going to do that, but I have no idea. I don't, it's the same as me looking at that brick and saying, now it's going to become this, the thing that we call a phone
Exactly.
today.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know how this is going to transform and where that path is going to lead us. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just it. We just need to follow the trend and take advantage of it because it's moving very fast.
Absolutely. Any last thoughts before I let you go here?
My last thought here is just like primarily for the audience is that building is interesting from the outside, but when you get inside, things might get messy. But don't give up because just ensure that you show up every time. I feel like that has always been working within my capacity. Just show up. When you show up, you see people come around and we're like, "Oh, I love what you're doing. I love this," and yeah. So only show up every day.
I love it. That's perfect. Where can our audience find you?
Yeah, more active on my LinkedIn, Ibrahim Adepoju on LinkedIn, founder of Tyms. I'm more active, connection requests, message. I post a lot of things. That's just where I put my content, on LinkedIn.
Perfect. And Times is a website is tyms.io for those listeners out there, tyms.io. Ibrahim, thank you so much for being on Beyond SaaS. For tech leaders out there, we're committed to exploring tech growth. We drop episodes twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And you can find me, Jason Niedle, at tethos.com. That's tethos.com. And don't forget to grab your hyperscale playbook at tethos.com/playbook. If you got some value today, please share this episode. And I love questions for me or future guests, comments, and any feedback. Until next time, this is Beyond SaaS.